Hello everyone and welcome to a quick case study where I show you exactly how my client booked 17 qualified sales calls for his copywriting services and generated over $25,000 in signed contracts in under 26 days. My name is Dennis. If you don't know who I am the CEO at Six Figure Copywriters. What we do basically is we partner up with copywriters like this guy and we basically do all the legwork when it comes to prospecting and get him pre-qualified sales calls with potential clients. First things first, let's go over the proof of claim, right? So this is, as you can see, this is yesterday when my client actually closed the $25,000 deal with 10% deposit and the rest coming through in September, which is a bit over a month from now. And these are the numbers for July, right? So this is where we track every single metric from his outreach campaign because these results were generated from an outreach campaign. And as you can see right here, these are the outreach messages, the amount of outreach messages we send, the amount of replies we get, the amount of calls proposed, the amount of booked calls. And as you can see, for the month of July, so far, we're on the 25th, he has 17 sales calls booked so far from 1,600 outreach messages. Not bad. And these are the overall stats of the campaign, right? So we have a 17.7 reply rate. And this is cold outreach, by the way. Okay, so this is not done to a cold, warm audience or reaching out to people in his network. Okay, this is a cold audience. These people don't know who this client is. And we have a booking rate of 1.07%, which is pretty solid, which means, guys, that every 100 messages that this client sends, he's going to get one booked call. Okay, so the three main things that we've used to make this a successful campaign and to be able to generate this client such results were these three things. First of all, we have used leverage. Okay, so I'm going to go a bit more in depth over leverage a bit later in this training, but basically what we did is we installed our outbound specialist funnel where we outsource the repetitive task of finding leads and qualifying leads and sending them the outreach message to someone that can do it for way cheaper than us, right? And then we had a 10K offer, which basically means decommoditizing copywriting, and instead of selling copywriting as the outcome, selling what these people actually want and making copywriting the vehicle that they use to get there, right? Instead of directly promoting copywriting. The difference is someone that's selling commoditized copywriting, right, is selling emails, right? Someone that's selling decommoditized copywriting is someone that sells an additional 50K in revenue per month without paying for more ads, but the vehicle is email marketing. Do you see what I did there? That's what we've done for this client as well, and that's why the offer works really well on cold audiences to convert these many people into actual calls. And the third thing is our nurture sequence. Okay, so we have the pre-call resources, which is basically, I'm going to show you a bit later. It is a sequence of videos that get sent to the client before the actual appointment to nurture them and to differentiate ourselves from the others in the market. Okay, so with that being said, guys, let's get right into it. The first thing that I need you guys to understand is that outreach is a numbers game, okay? Unless you want to spend days on end crafting personalized messages for business owners that don't know you, just to get frustrated that people don't respond after you've dedicated so much effort, you've put 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes into an email, and that person didn't even open the email, right? Unless this is you, like, you need to understand that outreach has become commoditized, right? What is the definition of something being commoditized? Well, the term commoditized refers to a process in which goods or services become relatively indistinguishable, sorry for that, from the same offerings presented by a rival company, right? So basically, when there's too many people doing the same thing and presenting the same thing to people, that thing becomes so commoditized that people don't really care about the benefits or the brand or the color anymore because it is the same thing fundamentally, right? And people, you have to understand this, people see you the same, right? Even if you're spending 30 minutes to personalize a message and I'm spending 5 seconds sending a template message to that person, he is seeing us both the same. We still have something to sell them. We're still invading their, well, not invading their privacy, but we're still getting into their inbox unsolicited, right? Because that is how you get in touch with people, right? And with how many people got into copywriting in the last few years, you have to be delusional to think that using the same messages that you used 3 years or 4 years ago are still going to work today, right? Because there's thousands of other people sending the same messages to the same business owners that you are targeting, okay? So since people see you the same, and your effort doesn't really yield results when it comes to personalizing these messages anymore, you might as well just reach out to as many of them as possible, right? I mean, why be seen by 10 people when you can be seen by 100 people, right? To get out of the current way you're marketing your business, you need to also change the currency you're paying with, right? Because since we said that outreach is a numbers game, so we need volume. And as you can see right here, like we've sent like booking the 17 calls for this client wasn't easy. Like we've sent 1,600 messages. Right, we've identified 1,600 people, we've qualified them, we've sent the messages, we've followed up with them, we had conversations with 282 people, right? So that's the kind of work that goes into building this stuff. It is a numbers game, right? So you need to understand that we as humans have two currencies, right? We have time or money, right? So we either pay with time or we pay with money. And as a copywriter and human being, you just know that working harder to get better results is simply not possible because you cannot duplicate time. Like if you know a person that has 48 hours in a day, hit me up, right? I'd love to see that person, but I assume it's not you and it's not someone you know because that such thing doesn't exist, right? We all have the same 24 hours in our days. So how come one person makes 100K a year and one person barely makes spare change to pay the bills with the same time, right? You have to understand that it's one, your actions, and two, how much leverage you're actually using with your time. Because fundamentally, we all have the same 24 hours, right? And in those 24 hours, my friend, you have to take sales calls, speak with customers, chat with your network for ideas, write the copy, revise the copy, integrate systems, launch the email sequence, prospect, okay, qualify leads, personalize the emails, all of that while taking care of your personal life, your family, your pets, your kids, etc. Right? So where can you find the time to work harder on your marketing efforts? The truth is you can't, okay? So when the next guru tells you that you just need to work more, you just need to double your efforts, you can't. Like, give me your 24 hours and I will be able to happily double my effort, right? But that's impossible. And that's why you need to understand that this is where leverage comes in, right? And you need to understand the pyramid of leverage. Right now, you're probably doing this activity yourself, right? The prospecting side of things, I mean, right? You're probably here doing it yourself. You need to understand that there's two forms of leverage existing on this planet. There's labor leverage, so hiring someone to do it for you, right? So that you can leverage that person's 24 hours and that way you can actually double, triple, quadruple your efforts because every single person has an extra 24 hours that you can leverage, okay? Or there's capital where you pay for something, right? Such as running paid ads. You just blast money into ads and people keep coming at you and you don't have to involve any single second in it, right? Because it's an ad and it's automated. Now, truth is, since you are a freelancer and not a big enterprise, you don't really need capital leverage, right? Because spending $2,000, $3,000 a month on ads to generate $4,000 to $5,000 in revenue is not necessarily the best option, right? But what you can do, and this is what you have to do, is apply labor leverage, okay? You have to get someone do the tasks for you that can do it cheaper than what you charge per hour, okay? And for that, you need to understand where your time is valued, okay? So when you identify an activity that you are doing, which can be outsourced to someone else for a lower price than your revenue per hour, do it, okay? Because you're literally saving money. Are you making $100 an hour as a copywriter? Then you can profitably afford to spend $80 an hour for someone to actually do the outreach for you. Now, you're not going to spend that, okay? You're never going to spend that, right? Especially with the system that I'm about to show you, but that is realistically speaking what you can afford, okay? So why not do it? Why keep wasting your own $100 per hour doing that task just because you don't want to have someone else do that for you, right? But just to help you understand, this is the system we're using, okay? So we've applied labor leverage to this client so he can actually focus on closing these deals, delivering the work, mastering his skills as a copywriter so he doesn't have to spend the time sending 1,600 messages per month, okay? So First things first, we leverage LinkedIn as a platform, okay? In terms of the platform, LinkedIn is not necessarily like the one you want to leverage all the time. You need to understand, like, you need to identify where your dream customers are, okay? So if it's lawyers, you might want to go on LinkedIn, okay? Not Instagram. If it's fitness coaches, you might want to go on Instagram, not on LinkedIn. So you need to identify what your platform is. For this specific account, we've identified the platform being, the best platform being LinkedIn, okay? Now, after we've identified that, okay, what we did for this client is we basically hired, placed, and trained a dedicated outbound specialist, okay, which is basically like a virtual assistant, for $150 to $200 per month, plus a few bonuses when they close. Okay, this person, since we've done all the legwork for this client, when they joined his freelancing practice, they were already trained on the process that works, because we've trained them on what we've seen works best for clients like him. They speak English and they have great communication, and they are hard workers, and they're hitting the KPIs every single day, right? So if you're wondering, where can I find someone that can do it for this cheap? It's simple. You just leverage world economics, right? There are people in, other countries, right, such as the Philippines, where we have most of our outbound specialists from, and these people, like, their part-time salary is this, to work, let's say, at a McDonald's job, or just a basic labor job. So it is actually a great opportunity when we take someone like that, we train them, we give them the opportunity to spend a few hours a day on their computer at home with their family and earn the same amount of money, right? So it's a win-win-win situation, right, for every single party. So that is how we can actually do this, right? Now this person, right, the outbound specialist, will send 1,500 to 2,000 outreach messages per month. This is in this client's case what they're doing, okay? So we still have a few days left of the month, so they will probably close in on 2,000. And then what happens is, because we have a proven appointment setting process, which I'm going to break down like a few pieces of it in just a second, because we have a proven appointment setting process and we have a proven outreach message, we actually get positive replies, okay? So we don't just get people to say, no, thank you, I'm not interested, stuff like that, fuck off, and stuff like that. We just get positive replies because we know what these people want and we're offering that to them. So it's impossible that they will say no, okay? Once we get positive replies, we propose a Zoom call, nothing much, okay, going on here. We just get positive replies, we propose a Zoom call, okay? There is no need for the extra fluff. And then we get appointments booked with people that are interested, okay? And then, of course, there's also some follow-up that's going into this to book additional appointments. But yeah, this is it, guys. This is literally it, the system we're using, right? So we have used the leverage to hire someone that can do the job for cheaper. They're doing that every single day with no excuses, while you can save your time and your money. And they're actually generating results because we have a proven process in place, okay? And I want you to think about it. If you average even $50 an hour as a copywriter, and you're currently spending 2 hours a day on finding new customers, this activity is costing you $500 a week. That's $2,000 a month, that's $24,000 a year, okay? That's a part-time salary per year in America. And on top of that, about 520 hours a year that could be spent not doing repetitive client acquisition activities and actually leveling up your skills so you can charge more, so that you can start working with more clients, right? So my question to you is, why in the world would you not hire someone that can do it for less than 10% of that with a one-time effort to just train and onboard them, right? Why? Now, I know this sounds pretty fancy, and it is fancy, and it is the new way of doing things, but you need to understand something. This system will not work if your outreach isn't working already, okay? Because you can't just duplicate zero, okay? If you have no results, you can't duplicate the no results and expect a different outcome, right? And this is actually a quote by Albert Einstein. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Right? If you currently send 100 messages a day and you don't get any results, you can't expect someone to come in using the same message and same tactics and same strategy and get different results just because you outsourced it, right? So fact of the matter is, a good offer with an average marketing plan will do well, but an average offer with a good marketing plan will fail, right? So if you can build an offer that converts on cold traffic, you will never have a problem converting your warm and hot traffic as well. But if your offer only converts hot leads and people that know you and people that have been talking to you for like years, then you can't expect that offer to work for a cold audience, okay? You need to understand that in marketing, offers are the gateways to lead generation, right? So without them, your visitors, which in your case are people seeing your message, they have no way of getting converted into leads. And they are also a critical tool for nurturing existing leads into a position that makes them more sales ready, okay? So in order to come up with a good offer, you actually need to innovate a little bit, okay? You like, yes, it's hard, but this is why most people are not successful, okay? Because they just copy others and they never innovate, okay? The realistic expectation when starting in business or as a freelancer and you have no pre-existing leverage, aka word of mouth, referrals, your old colleagues, network potential, mom and dad have a business, and so on and so forth, you need to have no expectations, okay? If you have nothing that can put you in a position to get clients without work, then you need to have no expectations because nobody knows you and you have to take it from zero. And you need to make sure that you have an offer good enough to get strangers to stop from what they're doing, get you out of the spam inbox, reply to you, fill out a form, book a call with you, and spend 45 minutes on that call, okay? So, and nobody will actually do all of these things when they hear the same thing 1,000 times a day. They're not going to see you as special because you have a optimized profile picture, or because, I don't know, you have a bio that's more optimized, you know, or stuff like that, or you have a bigger portfolio. People don't care, okay? So what we've done for our clients right here to build this type of offer, this cold friendly offer, is first of all, we have identified a market that is responsive on the platform, which in our case was LinkedIn, and that could use their service, okay? And we can use common sense to do this and a bit of research. So for instance, if you want to work with real estate agents, you need to understand, okay, so these people sell houses, which means they're going to list those houses on the marketplaces, so they might need listings. On the other hand, they might have a big email list of the local residents in their area, so they might want to use email marketing, okay? After you understand this, you need to research what these people want and tie their desired outcome to the offer we have and how it can be the vehicle that helps them achieve that, okay? So just giving you an example. As I said earlier, if you sell emails, no one is actually going to be interested in getting that. But if I look through real estate forums and I understand that people just want to increase their commission income every single year, okay, because they make commissions, but they don't want to spend more money on marketing, or they have a lot of failed marketing ventures, what I can do is I can offer them like the opportunity to make more commission income without spending more money on marketing agencies, which is going to basically be a pay-per-performance email offer or a setup fee plus pay-per-performance email offer. But I'm not telling them, hey, pay me per performance so I can write your emails. I'm telling them you can get more commission income without you spending more money on ads, right? And then the email marketing is the vehicle we use to get from A to B. Do you see what I've done there? That's what we've done for this client, and that's why we were able to generate such results, right, with the campaign. You have to do that yourself. Then after that, we leveraged his case studies and his testimonials to build authority through the outreach message, right? So let's give you the same example with real estate, right? So if you've worked with a big name in the real estate industry, right, you can say something like, hey, I recently helped Ryan Serhant add an extra X, Y, and Z in gross commission income without him actually paying more money on ads through email marketing. I believe I can do the same for you, right? So something like that, okay? That's exactly how you can leverage authority into your outreach messages to get people interested, because now everybody and their mother will know that figure in the space, and they're instantly gonna get curious, okay, with your outreach message. Now, of course, there are some of you out there that haven't worked necessarily with one of the big names, but you can still leverage authority and say something like, I've helped one of my clients to X, Y, Z. Like the obvious example, right? How our client booked 17 qualified sales calls and generated 25K. Okay, so after we've done these three things, we also made sure to subtly add a qualifier to make sure we weed out the tire kickers, okay? So if you're doing email marketing, of course, like it might not work if you don't have a specific list size. So then you want to say something like, if you have a list of 5K plus, we should talk, okay? So that kind of subtly gives them the gist that, hey, if I don't have 5K people in my email list, this is not going to work, okay? So that's how we weed out tire kickers as well. So yeah, that's how we've built the cold friendly offer for our client right here that generated him 25K in projects. And this is how you can do it as well, okay? It's that simple, guys. You don't need any fancy 3-hour master classes, okay? This is it right here. Now, on the other hand, the last thing that I mentioned was nurturing the prospects, okay? And I want to ask you, like, why nurturing your prospects with a pre-call page? Why is that important? Right? It's important because it gives you a competitive edge. It's something that they haven't seen with your competitors, and it's something that will get them more indoctrinated on your specific system process results, okay? And if you don't have a competitive advantage, then don't compete, okay? You can't expect to just win the game if you don't have a competitive advantage, right? But what I want to show is I want to show you the pre-call process we've used for our client, okay? So the pre-call process is basically just a landing page that we've sent to people that booked the call with the client, and so that they consume the content before the actual call, okay? So it's very simple. Thank you for scheduling the call. We have an introductory video right here where you can spend 5 to 10 minutes just discussing your experience and so on and so forth. Then, just a few case studies, just like I'm recording this one, you can put a few of those together with your existing clients. And then number 3 is just read some samples. You can link some specific samples that they might want to read, so they can click here and they can read the samples, right? And what happened here, guys, right? Before we even jump on the Zoom call, my client knows who I am and what I've done. They know the results I can generate, and they know if my style of writing fits with their desires, okay? What does this do? This is going to pre-sell them, okay? So you don't have to do the hard lifting, like the hard part on the call anymore, okay? And here are the results, right? So this is the same client with the deal that closed for 25K. I definitely think the pre-video did a lot of the heavy lifting. I get the feeling he was more or less sold before the call. And this is the truth, because he had this in place. The person went through this, they resonated, they found value in it. And now on the call, it was just a logistical conversation of, hey, how can we make this work for me? How can we get started, okay? So yeah, just a quick recap, guys. First of all, understand the power of leverage and stop doing $4 an hour activities. Number 2, have a strong offer and understand your market. And number 3, have a nurture sequence in place to differentiate yourself and pre-sell your prospects, okay? And that is it. You don't need any fancy outreach strategies. You don't need any 10-hour courses. You don't need any hidden templates, okay? If you can understand these 3 things, you will succeed no matter what your strategy is. And I know it sounds complicated, okay? It's simple, but it sounds complicated. Why? Because you have to hire someone, train them, place them. How do I even do all of these things? How do all of these things work? The contract, the payment, and then I need to build the offer. How do I build the offer? How do I do the research? And then how do I build the pre-call page? How do I install it? How do I make it work? Right? So this is very complicated, okay, to put in place. But that is why we at sixfigurecopywriters.com, that's why we took the matters into our own hands and we build everything for you without you moving a finger, okay? Just like we've done for this client, okay? So everything that generated him this outcome, which is a combination of these 3 things and a few more, is what we've built for him in a done-for-you format, okay? So he didn't actually move a finger to do any of this, okay? So all you have to do if you decide to work with us and you let us implement everything, you just have to attend the sales calls that are booked in your calendar, and that is it, okay? So if you want me to give you a full walkthrough of how our system works and how you can implement it, and you want me to walk you through our other successful case studies, because we have many more than just this one, and you want me to audit your current lead gen system for free and identify what is not working, then let's have an implementation call together, okay? You can book the call by clicking on the button, red button in the top right corner of this video. But first things first, I want you to know, okay, this is important. This call is not going to be for everyone, okay? Because first of all, you need to qualify. You need to have an established copywriting business, okay? So you need to have worked with at least 1 client, okay? This is not going to work if you're just starting right now and you haven't worked with any clients. And secondly, you need to be 100% confident in your delivery skills, because you will double or triple your client base very fast, and you need to be prepared for that, okay? Now, like 30, we can only do a few of these per week, because we already get 20 to 30 applicants for this weekly. Since we're practicing what we're preaching, okay, we use the same method to book the calls for ourselves. So yeah, the process is pretty simple. You just have to click on the button at the top right corner of this video. It's a red button that says schedule a call here. Then you need to fill out a short application form and choose a time slot that works best for you. Then once the call is scheduled, please make sure that you show up, okay? Only 1 call per user can be scheduled, and if you miss it, you won't be able to schedule another call, okay? So please be respectful of my time and your time as well, okay? I'm not asking you to kill King Kong. I'm just asking you to respect our times. And if you have an emergency, that's totally understandable, but please let me know in a timely manner, okay? So yeah, with that being said, I hope you found tremendous amounts of value in this training, and I hope to see you on the call. Cheers.